Okay, so it's time for Drink Wine and Get Organized.
Yes, welcome. Hi, everybody. I'll get started. Yes.
Okay.
My name is Carrie Peoples. My company is called Neat Smart, and I am here to talk about organizing tips. And with me is Nancy Waldeck, our chief partyologist.
Close.
No, wait. Chef and chief partyologist.
Healthy chef
Healthy
partyologist.
My best friend of over 20 years, and I don't know what she does. And I've done how many Facebook Lives with her, so never mind. Anyway,
That's all right.
Nancy Waldeck is going to share our first champagne here. Actually, no, Prosecco.
Prosecco. Okay, so we're having a little Prosecco. Prosecco is an Italian sparkling wine in an Italian sparkling wine glass. How do you like that?
Very nice. Pretty bubbles.
Aren't they beautiful?
It's a beautiful color, too.
Yes. Okay, so Prosecco is fun and fruity, cheap and cheerful, meant to be aged in the car, in the passenger seat of the car on the way home from the liquor store.
I was getting puzzled. I was like, aged? I've always just drunk it like on the way to someone's house. That's great.
Okay.
Cheers.
All right.
Hey. So today we're talking about drinking wine and getting organized, but we're going to also talk about some fun food and organizing trends. This could be controversial because I think we both know people who are very passionate about some of the things that we're going to talk about, but I think what people will find is that there's really room for all kinds of different trends and fads.
Kumbaya.
We can all get along. We can all agree to disagree.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm excited to learn because I'm always finding out, oh, you got to try this, you got to try that. This is the newest thing. This is what works. That's bad. This is good. So I can't wait to hear from you about whatever it is we're going to. I know you're going to introduce it, so I'm very excited about that.
I am. So Carrie, paleo, Whole30, gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, flexitarian. I mean, pescatarian. Yes. We could go on for hours and hours. And I'm not trying to make fun of anybody's eating habits. And I'm just like you. I think that if it works for you, that's great. But what I want to avoid is taking what I believe and putting it on you and then making you feel bad that you're not doing the same thing as I am.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And it's nice to hear that from somebody who knows food, knows nutrition, who can say, you don't have to give up eating bread, or you don't have to give up eating nuts or sweet potatoes or whatever. It's like it's all about what works for you.
It is. It is.
So.
And you're going to bring up.
Yes, I'm going to bring up. Probably, I think this was the #2 best-selling book on Amazon last year. This is the Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Also a difficult title to remember. But she made a fortune with this book, and first off, let me just say, more power to you.
Yay!
Yes, she started her own business. She started organizing when she was 12, I believe, and she is obsessed with it, which is good. But she has some different ideas about organizing. She suggests that you first, take everything out of your closet. So you have to do things in order. So you have to organize your clothes, and then you do books, and then you do paperwork, and then the last thing is memorabilia or ephemera. Well, it's really hard to gather all that stuff together at once, which I think most people would find immensely.
Run screaming from my closet.
Yes, and even if you have a small closet, to know that you have to get it all done in one day. And she's pretty emphatic that you must get it done. And I think that's too difficult. But she does offer a good tip, which is, hold the item, look at it. Does this spark joy? Well, a lot of things I have don't necessarily spark joy. Yes, or the season, or my size, but I don't, sparking joy is a starting point. It's good for that, to say, hey, do I really like this? Do I want this? But it's, most of us don't feel so passionate about our clothes, or let alone when you get down to paperwork. Do my tax returns spark joy?
No.
But I still need to keep them for 7 years. So, but one tip that she did offer that I thought was really helpful was thanking things, which I know sounds really hippy-dippy out there, but it's acknowledging that, let's say this shirt, I bought it, it didn't work for me, but I'm going to...
It does work.
I do love this shirt. If I were getting rid of it, I would hold it. She says, hold the item in your hands and say, thank you for your service. thank you for teaching me a lesson, maybe, or teaching me that I need to try on clothes before I purchase them, or that I should avoid the impulse purchases. So it's essentially what you're doing is you're acknowledging that you're going to let go of it, and then you pass it on and let somebody else enjoy it. And I think that's important. I'm not saying everybody's going to hold every object that they have and go, thank you. But it's good to acknowledge that, okay, I'm done with this and it's time to move on.
You know, Carrie, I think that's a great idea. It's along the lines of gratitude,
Yes.
and no matter what you believe in, you know, there's so many studies now that show that gratitude, just for little things, makes such a big difference in our lives.
It's true. And if you can learn from that mistake of maybe I overspent, or maybe I bought something and I was in a bad mood and I was trying to make myself feel better, if you can acknowledge that you've done that and say, okay, I've learned a good lesson here, and express gratitude, yeah, you're going to be so much better off.
Yeah, I do have to tell, since we're talking closet.
Yes.
Okay, I do have to tell the funniest story of my closet, and that is when I went back to take some of my shirts out. Now, I read the book. I couldn't get on board with it completely, but it was a good reminder. I did take some of my shirts out and put them on the bed and look at them. And I want you to know that until about 6 months ago, I owned a cowboy shirt in case I was ever invited to a Wild West or a cowboy. Now, let me just say to you that this is not my style.
We are not Texans.
We are not Texans, but I did finally get rid of it.
That's
so
hilarious.
Somebody at Goodwill is now got a cowboy shirt, and I hope that they get a
sure,
party.
And
A
they
party
love
to
it.
go, yes.
They love it. And that's
Yes.
the thing is what you're getting rid of, someone else either needs or wants or
Yes.
loves, and will be thrilled to have it.
Yep.
So just know that it's going out into the universe and living another life elsewhere. So
I like that. And I love that a professional organizer can say, you can do it in stages instead of all at once.
Absolutely.
And it's overwhelming to me.
And you don't have to get rid of everything. I mean, actually, the second half of the book I think is kind of funny because, I mean, she would say you would need to clear this whole counter off. Everything would need to be in a drawer. I mean, it's very, very stark.
Yeah.
And I just think that's not how I live. I don't think it's how you live. We like having things around us.
Yes.
We like having happy things around us. So.
We do. Okay, so speaking of happy things,
Yes.
it's my first recipe.
Yay.
Okay, so I tried to find a recipe that would fit into a lot of different popular diets. Now, I'm kind of against diets.
Yeah.
I believe in lifestyle.
Yes.
And if you are going to feel great, and that's what it's about, right? It's not about all these ticky nutrition rules and things like that. I truly believe there's enough information out there. What we need is to adopt what works for us and makes us feel good.
That's
Because
true.
we want to feel good every day. So sweet potatoes, love sweet
See,
potatoes.
now some people say that that's it's a carb, it's sweet, it's bad, or
yeah.
not bad, but that's a carb. You shouldn't eat that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love them.
I do too. And I, you know, as boring as moderation sounds,
I agree.
yeah, I think it's really a smart idea. Okay, so here I have a sweet potato. This is a double stuffed sweet potato, and just let me tell you, it is wonderful and so easy. So all we did was cook the sweet potatoes ahead of time, and now we have a naked sweet potato. And I'm going to grab a spoon from here. And what we're going to do is I have some butter and oil on the stovetop here. And what I'm going to do is just put some spices in here. So I'll move that aside. So butter, oil that's already melted. Now I'm going to take some turmeric, and we know how good turmeric is
See,
for
that's
us.
been very trendy lately.
Yeah.
I keep reading about
But
turmeric.
that's a good trend.
No,
right?
it is. It's just hard to differentiate
Yeah.
what's a good
Trend
trend
and what's not.
What's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Okay, so I've got some Himalayan sea salt. I like the sea salt better than I like kosher salt
Okay.
because there's a chance that it might have something good for us.
Okay.
Kosher salt is the byproduct of an industrial process. Not that it's dirty or anything like that, it's fine. But if I work so hard to make beautiful food that's healthy, seasonal, organic, whatever, why would I use something as a byproduct of an industrial process, right? So the sea salt, we can find sea salt anywhere. I've got a little bit of pepper. If you're using turmeric, I want you to think about this as the Holy Trinity, and I know this is terrible. I'm not meaning to be blasphemous, but this is the way I remembered it from the very beginning. Turmeric, black pepper, healthy oil.
Oh.
if you use your turmeric with the black pepper and the healthy oil, like olive oil, like grapeseed oil, it increases the bioavailability of the curcumin, which is the good stuff. It makes it better for us.
So this combination is important. Okay,
exactly. And then last but not least, I'm going to put in here some garam masala. And you know, I use this in a lot of my recipes. And people think, oh my gosh, it is an exotic spice, but it's truly not. You can find it in the regular grocery store. Yeah, this is like the Kroger brand, right? So you can find it in the regular grocery store.
Smell it.
Yeah, and just smell that.
Ooh, wow, that's good.
I know, it's
that's
like
so
more
rich.
baking spices on steroids. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move this around a little bit in my pan, and then when it's warm, so by the magic of Facebook Live, let's pretend it's warm. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to put in some coconut milk. Okay, so this is full-fat coconut milk, just using about a quarter or a half a cup of it. And by the way, these recipes are on my blog, so you can find them for the Facebook Live. Drink wine and
get organized. No, I love it because it's good to see what this is going to actually look like.
Yep.
And then know that we've got the you don't have to take notes.
Yep. Yep. The recipes online. Okay.
It's on your blog, and we'll talk about where you can find the recipes.
Okay. Can you smell? It's like aromatherapy, isn't it?
Really nice.
So all you're going to do is take your bowl, put your smashed potatoes in the bowl, pour this in, put it back in the oven at 350.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. So this fits in lots of different lifestyles, including paleo, low carb, Whole30. If you don't, put the cheese.
Cheese.
I know. Or you could use a cheese substitute like Daya or almond milk cheese, something like that. I know it's just a little cheese, but here is what it looks like when it comes out. Look at that.
That looks so good. Can I try a bite?
Yes, I want you to try.
I love sweet potatoes because they're so versatile.
They are. And so this
simple.
one, so you saw how to do it. It's super easy. And when it came out,
They're so good. It's so rich. So, what kind of cheese did you use?
this is just a cheddar, a raw milk cheddar.
Okay.
Got it at Whole Foods. Okay, breakfast, lunch, dinner, in the freezer. Snack, one half of this is going to be about 200 calories. Perfect snack.
That's great.
In the freezer, don't put the cheese on it.
Okay.
Just do it all and then wrap it and put it in the freezer. Then when you knock it out, you put the cheese on it.
A little melty.
Melty, 350 for probably half an hour, and then top it with the pecans.
That is so good. And you got a nice little back heat. It's not spicy.
No.
But it's just, it's warm.
Warm baking spices.
Not that we're ready for fall we're ready. We're not, we have fall just yet, but that's a perfect fall, middle of the week recipe.
Yeah, and because you can freeze it.
You do it ahead of time.
Okay, so, and I do have the perfect wine for it.
Yay!
Okay, so here we go. I'm getting ready to go to Lodi, California soon, so I'm very excited. And this is a Brazen Zinfandel. It's from Lodi, and Zinfandel is so interesting, Carrie, because they thought at one time, the collective we, thought it was a noble grape from the United States.
Cheers.
And amazingly, DNA testing shows that it came from Croatia, but it still grows grape. Yes.
Whoa,
yeah,
that's good to know.
Yes,
we
went
to
to Croatia.
Croatia had wonderful wine.
Yeah. So this is in Lodi, which is a little east of San Francisco, and this is just. So the wine is spicy. Yeah. Taste it with the sweet potato. Yeah. So spicy, dark cherries, a little bit of cedar.
That is really good. Now, is this an expensive wine?
No, it's not. All three of these wines are less than $20. This one's probably about $16. That Prosecco, I found it at Costco before for like $14 a bottle.
Yeah, so. Costco can be great for for wines and champagnes and sparkling wines. You have to be careful not to overshop there, which is actually a nice segue into my next book. And really, this book I'm talking about because they talk about minimalism, and I'm just going to talk about minimalism in the abstract. That a lot of people think that they need to pare down and have one picture on the wall and no knickknacks or nothing that's clutter on their countertops or on their shelves, but I personally like having pictures on the wall. I like having little reminders. Of course, reminders of trips that I went on. But this is an excellent book. This is called Everything That Remains, and it's by the Minimalist, who are Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus, who I actually met one time. They're very sweet guys. And they, sweet boys. Excuse me, they had a documentary that came out last year called Minimalism. And again, there's something good here. There's a lot of things that I like about it. I would recommend this book because it gives their story of how these guys were just working hard and killing themselves to make money and buy more things and have the big house and the cars and all the toys, but they really weren't happy. Yeah. So they weren't satisfied by just acquiring. And you know what? No one is. No. Just having these things, it doesn't make you happy. However, I'm not the, what does make me happy is having some things, but just not everything. So one thing they talk about is doing a decluttering challenge. And I did this myself. It's really interesting. So you take 30 days, say the beginning of the month.
Oh, I remember when you did this. You posted on Facebook that it was so cool.
It was funny. So day 1, you get rid of one thing. Day 2, you get rid of 2 things. Day 3, 3 things, and so forth. And it's getting rid of. It could be donating, it could be trash, it could be giving to a friend, whatever, but you're just getting these things out.
Do you remember some of the things that you did?
Oh, yeah. This is embarrassing. So I have this cabinet that whenever I...
With a cowboy shirt.
Yes! that I bought at Goodwill. That, I get a package. I'm like, I'm going to need a box because I've got, a friend's birthday coming up. So I'm going to just put the box and the packing material in this cabinet. Well, one of the things that I got rid of were like probably 15 boxes that were just random boxes that I might need someday.
Oh,
and I think
my life.
I think we all have that stuff that we might need. And it's okay to keep things for a little while or to keep a few boxes, but you don't need to keep a whole cabinet full. And I think it's just really recognizing what is it that I'm using, what is it that I need. But yeah, I got rid of a bunch of boxes. I had a bunch of toys that we weren't using anymore. Mismatched socks. That was, oh my gosh.
You paid homage to the sock god in the washing machine.
Finally got rid of the socks. And actually one thing that I got rid of was just one of the last days, and this was hard because it was like, oh my gosh, it's day 30. I've got to find 30 more things to get rid of. I know, it was crazy. Well, I had some china that was given to me that I didn't use, and my sister-in-law wanted it. So I was like, great, you just made my minimalism challenge day. So I gave her this, I don't know, 5-piece place setting, anyway, this whole set of china. So that felt great, but I knew I was keeping it just in case, and it had been my grandmother's, and I was feeling guilty about, well, I can't just give it away. And I called her, and I'm like, hey, would you like this china? Oh, I'd love it. So perfect. So anyway, I just think you have to be aware of the things that you have in your home, which I'll talk more about in the next segment. But I think minimalism, if you want to embrace that, go for it. But don't feel like you have to. Don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't have a lot of pictures on my wall, and I shouldn't have clothes in my closet. Hey, if you really like clothes and you wear them a lot and you go out and you do things, no problem. Yeah. Just don't keep stuff that you're not using.
So I think that just brings up a really good point that applies for food and for stuff.
Yeah.
And that is, if you love it, embrace it, enjoy it. If you want a Snickers bar, oh my gosh, but no,
it won't do.
If you want a Snickers bar, buy the Snickers bar, buy the small one, eat it and enjoy every single bite. And then don't have a Snickers bar for a while, right? People that are so, there's a good word for it now and I like it. It's called restrictive eating. And it just sounds scary to me.
It does sound very
And that
hostile.
is saying, oh, you can't eat this, you can't eat that.
But then you want it more.
You do, and so, I've told my story about the sugar, the cookie, and all that kind of stuff so many times, but I'm going to tell it one more time because I can't.
I don't remember it, so.
Okay, good. Maybe the daydreaming.
That might have something to do with it. Okay.
So, I teach classes at Cancer Wellness, and I was there making my orange oatmeal cookies one day. Yeah, and they're so good. And they are lower in sugar because of the orange, just like we're going to use with our peaches in just a moment. And I took a lot of the sugar out. I used whole wheat pastry flour, oats. better for you cookie, right? Not fabulous, not health food, but much better. So 2 cookies, yum. Okay, so I'm in the kitchen. A woman walks through the kitchen and she says, I say, would you like a cookie? Come join me in the kitchen. And she's like, does it have sugar in it? And I said, well, yes, it does a little. And I explained to her, and she was like, oh, I can't have sugar.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So she goes on to yoga. I finish making my cookies. I share them with other people. And 2 weeks later, I'm back in the kitchen. She comes in clutching a bag of peanut M&Ms.
No.
Yes. And I said, Sarah, what are you doing? And she said, I couldn't stand any longer. This is my favorite candy. So Carrie, if she had had the cookie, she may not have had to eat the entire jumbo bag of peanut M&Ms. We can't embrace something unless we can enjoy it for the rest of our lives.
And it's true. It's like the more you have of something, whether it's food, whether it's clothes, anything, the more you have, the less you appreciate it.
Exactly.
So it's because you just can't love everything all the time. Oh, I love this, I love that, I want to eat. You can't eat everything at once.
Yeah.
So eat it and enjoy it, savor it, and then it's not you're not restricting yourself.
Right.
I think anytime someone says, oh, well, you can't have sugar, oh my gosh, the first thing I want to eat is a bunch of sugar. I'll just get a spoonful.
Yeah,
so
that's
a smart way to do it. And you also had a recipe recently that was better for you.
Chocolate chip cookies, and they are so good.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
See, I think if you can make that choice or make that switch, you're still going to have the cookie. You're still going to satisfy that sweet tooth, which I have.
Yes.
I bet you're going to have a better option.
Exactly. And of course, we're not talking about people with dietary restrictions or health problems or things like that. And we're not talking about forcing what we want, because we like cookies, on anybody else. But what we're talking about here is both with possessions and with food, doing what makes you feel good and figuring that out by not going hog wild on everything.
No, it's true. And so many people ask me, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? What should I have out? Or a lady asked me one time, well, how many pictures that my kids did should I keep? I don't know. However many you want.
How many do you like?
Exactly. But it was just like, there's no rule. You get to choose and how you work in your kitchen, or it's your life, it's your home also. So it really should suit your needs. So if you have dietary restrictions, of course, don't eat those things, and you can find a way to incorporate healthy options to substitute for the bad things.
Yes, and bad is bad.
Labels are bad.
Bad. Okay, onward.
Let me move this over.
Okay. All right.
Love peaches.
So here, I do too, and it's still peach season, right? Yes. In fact, very interestingly, I talked to a friend in New Jersey, and they get peaches until the first week in October.
Really?
Yes.
Even up there?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
So, all right. So this is a fabulous dessert that looks like it is full of sugar. When we took it out of the oven earlier, it smelled like pie, but it has no sugar in it.
Oh my gosh, there's no sugar.
Except for natural sugar.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. So we've got a peach here, and these are, oops, there was no shattering of glass, so that was good. Okay, so this is a freestone peach, which means that when I circle around that way with my knife, I can just open it like that, yay, and then just take the pit right out. So I actually leave the skin on the peaches for this because it helps hold it together when it's baking.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So I've got a dish right here that's got a little oil in it. You could put butter in it if you wanted to.
I think coconut oil would be good.
Coconut oil would be fabulous. Good thought, Carrie. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of orange, a little bit of zest, a little bit of cinnamon, stir it up, and look what it's going to look like right there.
That looks great.
Yes.
So orange zest and cinnamon. Okay.
3 ingredients. And now what I'm going to do is take this, put this right into the little, here we go, Tweety.
Seed spot.
Yes, the seeds. Oh, I like that. I'm going to remember that, the seed spot. And then I'm going to put it right in the oven at 350. I'm going to bake it for about 30 minutes. And look at that.
That looks so good. And I love peaches. And I hear people say, oh, it's nothing but sugar. You know, peaches are fun. And I'm not saying that.
I know, I'm just kidding.
But it's like, why would you, I mean, if you died tomorrow, I'm going to enjoy a peach today. I mean, it's just, it's a natural sweetness, which I think is always going to be better than anything processed.
There's nothing wrong with eating fruit. Right? Nothing wrong with a little fruit. Okay, so that goes to the oven at 350. That's what it looks like. And then,
I know we're having a wine with this.
Yes,
I just
of course
have to,
we are.
I have to try this.
Okay, so I'm bringing the wine over, and we're doing Italian, California, and back to Italy, Moscato. Yes, and you know what else, Carrie, is if, since it's hard to find really great peaches, you hit the jackpot one day, and the next 3 weeks you get ones that don't taste as good. So when you bake them like this, they lose a little bit of their water and they concentrate their flavor. So even a peach that's not quite as good or as ripe can be beautiful when it's baked.
Oh, that is so good.
Isn't that good? I mean, you could really be decadent and put a little vanilla or cream or something like that, or even a little non-fat Greek yogurt with cinnamon in it.
That's a good idea.
And some more of the orange. So what we did with the orange and the zest, the orange juice and zest, was we made it taste sweet without putting sugar in it.
And the peach has so much sugar in it, and I'm sure the heat causes it to release that sugar, so it really is. Yeah, I love it when you've done grilled peaches and other recipes, but that is such a yummy treat. And so sweet, but not
overwhelming. Yes. Okay, so this is sparkly too.
This is kind of bubbly. No,
it is bubbly. This is a Moscato.
Oh, this smells sweet.
And I will be honest with you, this is not my favorite wine with anything other than fruit desserts. And so when you are looking to pair wine with dessert, you never want to have a wine that's drier than the dessert. Because remember, we talked about food changing wine. And that food is going to kill your beautiful wines. If you want something a little sweet, this smells musky and fruity and peachy. So it's the perfect combination with those baked peaches.
Okay, I can't get this, but I want to have a bite with the Moscato.
You want a knife?
Yeah, Moscato is probably not my initial wine of choice, but it's wonderful with this, which is,
and that's the whole idea,
goes to show it's got to be eaten with the right thing.
Yes, and it's funny enough, Carrie. So in 2015, Moscato sales went up. Woo! Want to know why? The millennials were just starting to move from beer to wine, and it was sweet. So it was like their gateway wine.
It was at Bartles and James.
It was Strawberry Hill. Okay, so remember that swill? Google that. The swill we used to drink. Oh my gosh! But now we really like.
And now we're like, oh, it's so sweet. But it's great with that. But
So
let me start off with that one. That's so interesting. Is how your tastes change. So my last point that I was going to talk about is, I'm going to quote Shakespeare because I'm pulling out somebody else's quotes, but he says, "To thine own self be true." Whenever you're organizing or just setting up your house or your kitchen or going to a restaurant and choosing food, know yourself. Know what you like and what you dislike. You don't have to eat something that if you don't want to. We're not 5 anymore where our mothers are forcing us to eat broccoli. You don't have to give things up 100% unless your doctor is telling you. It's really know yourself and know what your interests are, know what you like, know what your lifestyle is. I worked with a client years ago, and he had this ice climbing equipment. So granted, he lived in Charlotte, and
there's so much ice there.
And he had moved from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Moved from which there's no ice there either. Oh, Chicago to Charlotte, but he had ice climbed when he lived in Vermont 20 years prior. I was like, well, I might take it up again. Like, yeah, but you're in Charlotte now, and it had been 20 years since he had done that. So I was like, if you were going to go out and suddenly have the opportunity to ice climb, buy yourself some new equipment.
Yeah.
Let someone else use that now who can get some use out of it, because it's not going to last forever. So know yourself, know what your interests are, know what your lifestyle is. If you're, a stay-at-home mom, or you don't have to wear a suit every day, you don't need a closet full of suits and button-up shirts and high heels and, God forbid, pantyhose. You don't need them anymore. Pass them on. Let somebody else let somebody else wear them or use them. But I think we all tend to get caught up in, oh, I should keep this, or I should want this, or I should
Mother
try.
gave this to me,
My
or
mom
my
gave
best friend.
Yes, and you just have to really know what suits you and find someone else will probably love whatever it is that you're getting rid of and need it and want it and appreciate the cowboy shirt. Someone may be going to the rodeo in October in Dallas and need a cowboy shirt. Yeah. So really just know yourself and know what you want your lifestyle to be like and what you want your home to be like, because your home should be a representation of who you are.
Not only your home, but your kitchen too.
And your kitchen and your palette and your
Yeah.
menu. Well, this was outstanding.
Wasn't this fun?
I loved this.
I did too.
So, we have the recipes available on your blog.
Yes.
And we all have our sheets here.
Yes.
Da-da-da.
Tasteandsavor.com, recipes, and Carrie's tips.
Yes, thank you. And Nancy did a nice write-up, and I got my sheet wet. But you can find me at neatsmart.com. I am also on Facebook at NeatSmartCMP if you want to follow my business page there. And I'm on Instagram at NeatSmart. NeatSmart. I know I should have the same name, but somebody else stole NeatSmart. I'm like, are you kidding me? But if you go to neatsmart.com, you can sign up for my tips, and I have a retention document that you can sign up for. I do a newsletter about once a month. And so I'm not spamming you, I promise. And also, if you guys like these videos, please share them with your friends. Enter comments. We'd love to know questions. Anything you guys are interested in, we would love to be able to address that in a future Facebook Live, which is going to be September 13th, 3 o'clock, same time, probably same station, probably here. So yeah, neatsmart.com. Tasteandsavor.com, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.